There is always an element of mystery in how people create masterpieces or make genius discoveries. However, it doesn't mean that Beethoven or Einstein didn't know what they were doing, that they were just simply following their instincts. Composition, like science, needs skill, and great composers know precisely which compositional means to use to evoke specific emotions. Clair de Lune is arguably one of the most beautifully composed pieces for piano ever, and today I will uncover some of the mystery and explain what makes this piece so mesmerizing. We need this understanding as performers in order to interpret and understand this music better. One of the most mesmerizing spots in this piece, in my opinion, is un poco mosso. It sounds magical because Debussy employs so-called diatonic medians when we have two chords which are 1/3 apart and which have two common sounds like D flat major and F minor. And this device is often used in film music, especially in fantasy and sci-fi movies, something fantastic when conveying something magical or mysterious. The entrance chords of Matrix, for example, feature the same principle, just in reverse. So here we have the same diatonic medians, just set one octave apart and used in a contrary order to what Debussy does. I have actually produced a detailed course on this piece, on how to memorize it, how to deal with technical challenges, how to enhance the interpretation. So if you are interested in it, follow the link in the description, and if you are fast enough, you might actually get it at a very discounted price. Many of us visualize not just moonlight, but also a lake reflecting that moonlight. There's definitely something watery, something about water in this piece. That's why it works so good if you, as a performer, are able to provide two independent layers, two very different colors of light rays that travel all the way through space from the moon to Earth, which are a little bit kind of luminous, and dark and calm water of a lake beneath. This piece can be compared to an impressionist painting. There is a lot of instability and vagueness in this music, which is done absolutely on purpose. And just compare how this piece would sound if Debussy would use not inverted chords, as he does, but root version of the chords. You see how grounded, how conventional it sounds. But when using inverted chords, which don't have a root, it sounds immediately floating, unstable, floating in the air. And especially further on. And what Debussy also does, he plays with our expectations a lot. So for example, here in bar 4, when we get to this A flat major 7, inverted, we would expect something like this. And basically we can just jump from bar 4 all the way to bar 9, just skipping those 4 bars. And it would sound quite convincing as a dominant tonic relation. But what Debussy does here, he puzzles us, and then he uses F7, which also is being resolved not the way we would expect normally to B flat minor, but he adds a seventh to this chord, so B flat 7, B flat minor 7, creating even further instability and tension. And only here, finally, we have 5-1 cadenza. That's why it's so satisfying and fulfilling, because it's like a delayed gratification when you restrain of eating a chocolate bar, because you know that if you wait long enough, you will get 2 instead. That's why feeling the flow is absolutely crucial here. So even when we have long chords, we have to feel 8th notes pulsations, like in bar 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Because otherwise, if you don't count and if you don't feel the third beat as an invitation to the first beat, 1, 2, 3, 1, then the music falls apart very easily and it sounds rather boring. That's why if you, for example, take some time in bar 31, just because you feel that music kind of widens a bit, and you want to take some time here around the third beat, then the next bar you can do just the opposite thing. Directing the musical flow further. There are a few perfectly placed cadences in this piece, like between bars 8 and 9, like here. Another one is in bar 26, where we have a suspension of a dominant 7th chord and then a dominant 7th chord in the root version, which resolves to tonic. And this resolution immediately opens up a new section. And they structure this piece, these cadences, they structure this piece much like the rectangular shape of a blurry impressionist painting defines its borders. One feature in the romantic style in piano performance is gentle shaping of the climax phrases. So for example, when we do crescendo, when we crescendo on the ascending phrases, we might nevertheless avoid an accent on the highest note. So we create this striving sensation. But playing the top note milder. And absolutely mesmerizing spot where we have the depth of the lake, such a deep, dark lake that we don't see the bottom of it, and a moon so high that you know you will never reach it, well, unless you're Neil Armstrong. It's also very beautiful because we have this very painful minor second in the middle. This is exactly where you are as a human, as a small tiny human being, a lonely soul in this huge space, being stuck in between that depth and that height, and you know that you can't embrace it all because you're just simply small and fragile. And this is exactly what makes it so bitter sweet. Thank you for watching this and have fun playing piano.